I'm too welcome.
So, can you confirm that Shepherd Bushiri has already handed himself over to police in Malawi?
Yeah, indeed, as he indicated on Saturday that he will hand himself to the authorities, I confirm that he has done so today.
Has his wife, Mary, handed herself over to authorities?
Look, she is rallying behind him, she's with him.
All right. What is the next step now that this has happened? Is he on his way back to South Africa?
What's the next step now is just a legal process. A legal process is still unfolding. I can tell you that that side is appointed lawyers to assist him in this process, and that's they're doing their job as expected.
So tell us about their job, in terms of what can we expect. How soon can we expect the Bushiris back into South Africa?
Look, the simplest and easy way in which now we can expect him back in South Africa is to try to accommodate his demands. His demands are not reasonable, and most importantly, that of asking that the investigating officers that are busy, which he believes are being personal against him, is to have them removed. Once that can be done, it will be guaranteed that he's going to return to South Africa without any doubt, because he believes in innocence. He wants to proceed with the matter or case that are pending against him.
Sir, tell us, how did he leave South Africa for Malawi?
We really haven't pursued that, as I've been indicating. We feel now it's a matter for another session or another day. Now we just need to deal with what we're currently faced with.
So you as his lawyer are aware of the methods that he used to get to Malawi, correct?
No, I'm not aware.
You're not aware?
Yeah.
Talk to us about the reasons that he finally was persuaded in terms of handing himself over to authorities. What persuaded him?
What persuaded him is his belief in the law and in the justice, his belief in his innocence. Look, he believes that he has committed no crime, and just like anybody who gets arrested by the police, they remain silent, they believe in their innocence. So he believes that he needs to come back and clear his name, because, look, him being arrested doesn't resonate well with his conviction of his religious belief as a prophet.
Mr. Baloyi, some might argue that the reason he left the country says that, you say he believes in the law, but he skipped on his bail conditions. That's against the law here in South Africa. What's the response with regards to that?
Look, this issue is very simple. In his belief to the law, he believes that he should be treated just like ordinary human being. His constitutional rights must be respected. Where it doesn't get to be respected, he's left with no choice but to seek means in which now justice can prevail over him or over the allegations that are leveled against him. If it means taking the law into his own hands, so be it. But for him and for his constitutional right to be trampled underfoot, as it has been happening throughout 3 years that we've been fighting for his constitutional right to be respected, it's not on, and it's something which now we reach a point where he could not tolerate anymore, but to find refuge by being in Malawi. That's what's happening now.
As his legal counsel, did you advise him to take the law into his own hands?
No.
What's your take as a legal person that he did this?
Look, my take is just a wish that since he's been complaining to the authorities for the past 3 years, I so wish that our people, our police, have really listened to his complaint and attended to it thoroughly. And I believe had that been done, what he did, it wouldn't have happened, and it wouldn't be necessary for it to happen.
Do you think that he was within his rights to skip bail, to break the law in terms of his bail conditions?
Look, what I can tell you is just a human being just like me and you. we reach a certain point or certain level where we feel that some of the things we can't take it anymore. We just need what we have to do within our means to do what is best for our life, particularly with regard to the fact that if this life is in danger, this life is threatened, and by the very same police now who ought to follow and pursue the letter of the law, instead they were not doing that. They're just going after him, demanding an amount to the amount of 10 million, which is not on. So he couldn't give that. So as a result, he was subjected to all sorts of torture, which is not on, and then we should not be allowed in this country.
Talk to us about your interactions with your counterparts here in South Africa in terms of if that had any, impact on him. Was that the reasons in terms of this interaction between Malawi and South Africa for him to hand himself over to authorities?
I'm not sure if I'm following your question.
In terms of the authorities in Malawi and in South Africa, any interaction there that you would say that led to Mr. Bushiri as well as his wife handing themselves over to authorities?
Look, I think media, including yourself, reported since Sunday that South African government has instituted the extradition process. That the South Africa cannot do on their own. Surely they need to communicate with the Malawian people, which they've been doing, and which I can confirm that South African police are also on that side. So there's been a thorough communication. I also understand that Malawi also has its own law, and they are really respecting their law. And I believe you also follow the government or the president's statement by his spokesperson, where he's saying that he is not necessarily going to get involved in these matters of the law as the separation of powers even that side. So that's basically what's happening up to this point. So everything that is happening is purely a legal process that must happen.
Mr. Baloyi, I just want to get your take with regards to what we heard yesterday from the Home Affairs Minister here in South Africa briefing Parliament's Portfolio Committee, saying that Mary and Shepherd Bushiri applied for permanent residence permits in 2016, and they declared under oath that they entered South Africa for the first time in 2015. The movement control system shows otherwise. What's your comment with regards to that?
Look, I can safely say that that's the reporting, or that narrative is basically a fabricated one.
Are you saying the minister is lying?
Look, not in those words. You put it, I'll still hold myself to actually respect our minister. So I can't put it to say he's lying. I can simply say perhaps he's misinformed.
Misinformed by whom?
I'm not sure who actually his advisors. I don't believe the minister got down to that level to do the digging of whatever he came up with. So I'm saying that whoever is responsible for advising him, surely they must do their job thoroughly.
When last did you speak to Shepherd Bushiri or his wife Mary?
We're in constant communication. So just now, as he handed himself in, surely you will know that he's not in possession of telephones or phones.
So is he in custody currently with authorities? Is he in prison currently?
Yes.
He's currently...
He has handed himself in, yes.
So whereabout exactly is he?
A police station that side in Malawi. I'm not good with the jurisdiction or the police stations and so on.
All right.
All I know is he handed himself in.
I just want to push you a little bit before we end our conversation, because a lot of people want to know in terms of when Shepherd Bushiri and his wife will be back in South Africa. Help us understand, if you don't know exactly when, but help us understand that process now. Since he's in custody with authorities, what's that process now in terms of him getting here to South Africa?
Look, the steps will differ from which point you come from, and by that what I mean is, if you're coming from a point of South African authority, you'll wish that he must come back now. If now I'm talking from the point of his legal representative, I'll tell you we are ready not to really allow that to happen. We are on standby to run with the necessary applications to oppose all that. And we can only stop doing that once we believe that by him coming back to South Africa, he'll receive a fair trial, and him to receive a fair trial, is basically and technical to have his demands met, and most importantly, of having these police officers removed from the handling his case. And once that is done, I can safely assure you that it's going to come back.
Mr. Baloyi, we appreciate you taking the opportunity to speak to us. Thank you very much indeed. No doubt we'll be in touch with you. Be well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, that was Shepherd Bushiri's lawyer, Ntsako Baloyi. They are Baloyi and Ntsako attorneys, giving us the latest with regards to Shepherd Bushiri and his wife, confirming that both of them have handed themselves over to authorities in Malawi. Stand by, we'll get you the very latest on that. And